Hello and welcome back to the Full Cycle Ottawa YouTube channel. My name's Josh and today we're going to be looking at removing and reinstalling a chain. A couple reasons you might want to remove your chain would be to remove it to install a new chain, or to remove it and clean the chain and then reinstall it on the bike. Both of those are videos that we're going to be posting a little bit more in depth in the future, so keep an eye out for those. But in the meantime, we're just going to focus on removing the chain and reinstalling it. There's two different styles of attaching a chain. So you've got your quick link or master link or power link or whatever you want to call it, or you've got the chain pin. So on most modern bikes, we're looking at a quick link. So that would be this guy right here. And that there will just pop apart with some master link pliers. So the quick link is it's definitely the easiest way to remove a chain. So what we're gonna do is just bring this down to the bottom. So that is right there. And with these SRAM derailleurs, you've got this little button where you can lock the cage down. On a Shimano derailleur, you would have a little clutch lever there. What we'll do is just push that down, press that, lock it in place. So now we're just gonna pop the tool in here. So on either side of the master link, and then we're just gonna squeeze this, and then we can give it a little twist to pop them. And then that's it, our chain is open. Now that we have the chain open, I'm just gonna pull the master link off. And I'm going to set that aside on my desk, and then I'm just going to pedal that forward to get the chain completely off. And now that's our old chain. Now that we're ready to reinstall the chain, what I'm going to make sure is that my derailleur is actually all the way down in the 11th cog. This is especially important if you're resizing a new chain. You kind of just want the derailleur all the way out of the way. We're not worried about the length of this chain. We know it's the right length, so we're just going to go ahead and cut straight to putting it through the derailleur. I'm just going to lay this here with a little bit out there. I'm going to get this guy over the cranks and through that chain guide, and then get that so that it's hanging down. And then I take the end of the chain here and I'm going to push it through right behind this jockey wheel. And you'll notice there's this little tab there. I've seen a lot of times people do this and then their chain rides like that. You need to make sure your chain goes through there. And then we'll line this up and see. So then when we lower this, our chain is correct. And then again, this is where this little button is. So we just hold that in. Rest itself there. Now that we got the chain going through, we're ready to pop the master link back on. Keep in mind, for both SRAM and Shimano, they're not reusable. So I've got myself a brand new one here. And then on the rear section of chain, you're going to put the link on the outside. And then on the front section of chain, you're going to put the link on the inside. And then you can just hold them in place here. Pop it together there. And then what we'll do is grab our master link pliers, put them on just like before, but instead of squeezing them, we're just going to pull them apart, and it pops it closed. And now all we've got to do to release the derailleur is just release the pressure on it, and then we're all set. So for this bike here, we don't have a quick link, so what we're going to use is a chain pin, and we're going to need a chain breaker. I looked around the chain. There's no obvious pin in the chain. Typically, if you've already put a pin in, you try and replace that other pin, but on this one, they all look the same. So I'm just going to pick one at random, go in here, and I'm going to push this pin out. Now we're just going to back the chain breaker out, and then the chain is going to pop open. So removing the chain is going to be the same as what we did on the previous bike, so we're not going to bother showing that. So we're just going to jump straight into connecting this guy here. So we're just going to hold the chain together and pop our little pin in there. And then we'll just drive that in with the chain tool. Now that the pin's all the way in, we're just going to pop the chain breaker off, and then we can grab some pliers, and all we're going to do is break this little pin. So we'll just grab that, give it a little twist, pop that off, and now we're done. All right, so now you know how to remove and reinstall your chain, and like I mentioned earlier in the video, stay tuned for those other videos on cleaning the chain and sizing a new chain. If you like the video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch you out on the trails.